yourself a trade.
With Wilhauk Beef Jerky on their side, the Alberta teams definitely have an unfair advantage this trade deadline. Pick up some today and use it for trade leverage in your fantasy league.
No way, man. It's way too good.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win trades with salad.
When my husband and I said until death do us part, I never expected to find myself at the doorstep of divorce. I was facing an uncertain financial future, expensive lawyer bills, and most importantly, I was concerned for the well-being of my kids. My spouse and I turned to Fairway Divorce Solutions for help. Fairway walked us through a step-by-step process, allowing us to develop a clear roadmap to resolve financial concerns and provide a proactive co-parenting strategy. It helped us avoid chaos and courtrooms.
For a no-cost consultation, visit fairwaydivorce.com.
Sleep is for the off-season.
What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your fix. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace install company for sailors because they know the value of a warm port. And they sing, there was the ship who fought the cold, who sailed the sea with a furnace load. She brought the heat to IEG and her name was Legacy. Through icy wind and winter squall, her fire she burned for one and all with a comfort chugging guarantee, and her name was Legacy. No payments, no! Yep, no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. Don't trust just any port in a winter storm. Trust Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hi, Sticky. They're breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Down. Today's show, Oilers add 2 more players for the playoff drive. Stan Bowman has added a center, a rugged winger, a real right-handed defenseman, and overhauled the goalie room. Will it be enough? The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned, community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we are live on YouTube and Sports 1440 Radio, iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, we tweeted out on X, also available Apple and Spotify podcast, and we thank you for listening no matter how you do it. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, Declan Krueger, J Fenwick 04, Mac McLennan, and you can text us anytime, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. A guest today, Michael Walters, Edmonton Riverhawks Community Foundation Chair. He was on a year ago telling us that Joe Carter was coming to town. Going to find out today what's going on, what's happening, where the money goes, and look forward as well. Special announcement. Can't wait for it. Looking forward to 1240 today with Michael Walters. We'll also have Bagged Milk from Oilers Nation, equally highly regarded in the community. Bagged Milk will talk to us about the trades, about the game tomorrow night against Carolina, and about this Edmonton Oilers team and straightening up and flying right. We'll find out if that happens. There's lots of trades going on in more than just, the NHL. We'll talk about that too today. All right. Time for the introductions. She is the quietest, least quarrelsome member of this group, but she did punch Josh in the arm yesterday, so it's coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie McLennan. Mackenzie.
That is true. I don't want to cut anybody off, so I usually just wait.
Well, it's probably a good idea, but man, you are an outlier in that way on this show. Everybody jumps in and fists fly. That's the way it works. His favorite Flames player is now Ryan Lomberg. According to his Twitter account. Now, man, that can't be good. But he's in good spirits today. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick.
Shout out to the Lamborghini, man. Yep, he's been promoted.
That's what I said. Direct words. Congratulations on Ryan Lundberg on his promotion to my favorite Flame non-goalie division.
Actually, I really like him as a player too. I know that he doesn't do a lot of analytical brilliance, but I like him as an energy guy, and there's no fear on that guy.
He's a fun watch.
Yeah,
and he called Tristan Jarry Swiss cheese, so that's pretty funny.
Jahan, that was a witty one. The word cloud of today's show is going to have DJ Moore across the sky in letters. Why? Because Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody. Declan Krueger.
Lundberg also, he's just weirdly the Oilers like kryptonite this year.
No, he is.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
It is. How do you feel about the Bills move?
I love it. True number one wide receiver for Josh Allen, which is needed as much.
And no excuses now for Josh Allen, that flea-bitten varmint.
I mean, at some point, like,
get it done.
Yeah, kind of.
Come on now.
Because I was thinking, like, I think Josh Allen is probably already top 5 players without a ring in the NFL, in NFL history.
But he's rumbling, tumbling, stumbling down the field in the big game, and he drops the damn ball, man.
I mean, like top 5 quarterbacks. Yeah, no, listen, it's not great. You got DJ Moore now. DJ Moore. But listen, if he airmails him the way he airmailed Dawson Knox, it's not going to matter. So just don't do that. We'll be fine.
5 DJ Moores, word cloud expanding, bold. I'd say what kind? 50 font.
50 font. Maybe
Times
52,
New Roman or
Arial
something else.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about Arial Black?
Yep.
Just bold.
We
right?
got to put the shadow effects on it. Let them know that.
Sure.
Boom.
Maybe it dances a little.
Oh, hey, that's DJ Moore. Little animation on it. You got to download it as an MP4 in that case.
Okay, like I know.
I'll start working on it.
All right. Here we go. Let's talk about the trade. I know that you want to, talk about it a little bit. I tweeted out yesterday that Jason Dickinson, he plays about half of his 5-on-5 minutes against elite competition. Now, it's a 37% goal share, but Chicago's not a very good team. Relative to his other Chicago Blackhawks line mates and teammates, he's above board. He's over, I think it's 5% overall, including all competition. He is, as Dom Lucian said, and I'm quoting here, a perfect checking center. Dickinson takes on the tough minutes for Chicago, performs well at limiting chances. His impact on expected goals against has been positive in each of his 4 years with the Blackhawks. He ranks 4th in relative impact per 60 during that time. Aside from the high-end options like O'Reilly, Thomas, Coyle, Dickinson is without question the best defensive center option available. There's good news here. There's also concern here, and here's why. We've talked about it in the past, and the Oilers traditionally, in a game, give up 22 minutes of 5-on-5 time to the third and fourth lines. I would be more confident about Dickinson's deployment if, say, Craig McTavish were the coach of the Edmonton Oilers. There's a concern that I have for the Dickinson line, whoever's on it, whoever populates on it, and we'll talk about it today. I have a concern that line may sometimes play 9 minutes a night. And I think you've got to give this line a chance. They'll penalty kill. Dickinson's a great, or at least an active penalty killer. And I think that they have to use those 22 minutes, maybe 13-9. The fourth line may get squeezed, but that's okay. Because what Dickinson does is suppress offense. And man, do they need that when the third line is out there. The other side of the trade is getting quite a bit of attention here. People are saying, what's this guy doing here? Why was the trade made? I think what they're looking at is a guy who hits everything in sight. Do you know that Warren Zevon song, Hit Somebody? Anybody ever heard that song on the show?
Yeah. Sure.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
So it's not an impact. It's about a hockey player. And he goes around and hits somebody, and that's what this cat does. I don't know if he's going to play the whole year at Colton Dach, the rest of the year in the playoffs with the Edmonton Oilers. His numbers are not as promising. He played more of a depth role, 0.74 points per 60 in 550 minutes this year. That's not good. At the AHL level, he's not close to a point per game. But he hits people. 20.05 hits per 60. 5-on-5. That's number 5 among NHL forwards who played 500 or more minutes this year. He is a rambunctious guy like Clattenburg, only, he does it for a living and is able to, stay healthy, which is something Clattenburg is learning now. I don't know if he's going to play, but if he does, it's on the fourth line, an energy line, maybe like Ryan Lomberg, but Lomberg's been doing it a long time and is obviously professional in the role. So those who want to talk about the deal, or if you want to talk about your Calgary Flames deal, Oli Mata. You know how you spell his name? Start putting
Maatas.
No.
No?
Maatta.
Right. The T,
Mouse. Mata Mouse. Okay. I thought that would land. My fault. Anybody want to talk about the Oilers trade with Chicago yesterday?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Josh, do you want to go first and talk your Flames a little?
Here, I'll do both. I like the fact that, I wish we didn't have to trade Mackenzie Weegar. Obviously, the big thing that came out yesterday, or that was mentioned a lot yesterday, was that he was a big proponent in getting that new stadium started, or new arena started. My apologies. And now he won't get to play as a home player, which is too bad. But I also didn't think he was going to get moved. And then all of a sudden, I felt like it moved quite quick. But the return was good. I'm pretty upset that Iginla wasn't in the. I would have, honestly, this is why I would make a terrible GM. I would have said Weegar for Iginla straight up.
You just said something, though, that is so true. There's a lot of people online who say, man, I could do that. I could be the GM. I've got to know the numbers, or I can watch hockey. The problem is we all have bias and we're all emotional. I think a good GM is somebody who takes all the emotion out of it, every ounce of it, and just uses logic, like Spock. Yeah. Spock would be a great GM.
Very logical. So I, to make myself sleep better last night, did say that Craig Conroy initially was like, hey, we want Iginla. And they said, are we just doing 1 for 1? And he said, well, obviously not. And they said, well, then no Iginla. So that made me feel a little better that he, in my brain, hopefully tried. And I like the fact that we have a young prospect as a center now and a bunch of picks. A bunch of picks. I believe we have 6 picks in the first 2 rounds this year. So that makes me very hopeful that we can hit at least one. So that's where I come out. I give the Flames a solid, I'll give them a C+.
Oh, the drink.
Huh?
You're gonna give them a C+, the drink. Yeah.
I'll give them a C+, and I'll give the Mammoth an A. Like Mackenzie Weegar is a good player. Now going over to the Oilers, I like the fact that they now have half of what was the best penalty killing unit in the NHL. So obviously what they bring to the table for the Oilers, not just in a PK sense, which they will probably most likely be playing on, but just 5-on-5 and working in practice and being like, hey man, you got to reposition better over there or whatever, because I'm watching this guy coming down the lane over here, so you got to watch the slot, blah 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 blah. I like what their defensive prowess will hopefully bring to the rest of the Oilers lineup. So I particularly like the Dickinson trade, because that's, like you said, the third line's job is to not score, but also not get scored on.
Right, and that's the key. No 37% from the third line. It's got to be 50.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at, some of the advanced numbers for Jason Dickinson. Obviously, Colton Dach checking forward, like we mentioned. They're so, he was on such a bad team that even some of the advanced numbers aren't going to be great, like his goals against per, because he's obviously a defensive-minded center. Look at the goals against per 60, goals against total. It's not great, but I do think it addresses a defensive need. Josh made the excellent point that I think other people have kind of echoed, that, you just got half of the best penalty-killing unit in the National Hockey League. That is a, a nice feather in your cap to have. But I was looking at this one. This one came down from Big Head Hockey. So since 2020, the Edmonton Oilers have acquired Jake Wallman. Yeah, okay. I'm going to run through it really quickly. Since 2020, the Edmonton Oilers have acquired Jake Wallman, Matthias Ekholm, Connor Murphy, Trent Frederick, Tristan Jarry, Jason Dickinson, Adam Henrique, Sam Poulin, Max Jones, Sam Carrick, Spencer Stastny, Nick Bukestad, Derek Brassard, Andreas Antonisio, Dmitry Kulikov, and Mike Green. They have given up Michael Kesselring, Andrew Mangiapane, Stuart Skinner, Reed Schaefer, who was the 2022 first-round pick, and they've also given up, in addition to that, 5 first-round picks, 6 second-round picks, 19 picks total in the top 128 of the NHL draft. Now, Jason made the point those back-end first-round picks don't always turn into something. From 2011 to 2020, only 36.6% of those players had played 250 or more games in the NHL. But it's fair to say, as they have been, the chips are all in. I don't love the idea of signing Mangiapane, thinking he was going to be a guy you could bring in, play top 6 minutes, be a true goal scorer, and then a little more than halfway through the season, 3/4 of the way through the season. You got to offload a first-round pick with him to get rid of him because of how bad he was playing. I like the players in a vacuum. I don't love the totality of the trade, but do I think the team addressed a need the same way they did with Connor Murphy? Absolutely, I do. Do I think they are going to, at least on paper, be better because of how the makeup is now? I do. Time remains to be seen as, how it will play out.
One thing I will say is that they'll have a lot of draft picks next decade when you guys are hosting this show, and I'll be, on someone's ranch living unaware. They won't be.
You'll still be rocking against the walls, talking about goals above expected.
At some point in time, you're going to have to rebuild in Edmonton. That's what you're headed.
I don't want to do this show without Connor McDavid.
I'm ready for the decade of darkness.
I don't want to do the show without Connor McDavid.
Before we, this is awful, but before we let Mackenzie in, which is totally unfair. One thing that I did want to talk about with Dickinson is when he played 5-on-5 with Ryan Donato and Ilya Mikhailov this year, 187 minutes together, they had an expected goal share of 55% and an actual goal share of 68%. Don't expect 68%, but that expected goal share is just tremendous. And that's what, if you're looking for a silver lining or, sun, just a sliver coming through the clouds, that would be it. Mackenzie, I apologize that it's 13 minutes and these rambling males never got to you, but what are your thoughts on the deal?
No, that is A-okay. This is your show, so you do your thing. Honestly, I like this trade. I don't care about a first-round pick right now. I do not care. The Oilers are in a window to win. Giving up picks is the price of that. If you can continue to restock the shelves by going overseas and finding European players or having trades for younger players and sending them to the AHL until they're ready, I'm fine with that. I really don't care, honestly. I do not care about a first-round pick right now. And you know what? The Oilers did not trade Sam Dickinson for a first-round pick. They also got rid of Mangiapane's contract. They got salary retention. And what else? Sorry, I had it in front of me and now I can't find it.
It's okay. That's the show, to be honest with you. I've lost my thought.
Yeah.
And Colton.
And Colton Dach, who brings physicality, which has been missing. So, you know what? Maybe he doesn't play the remaining 20 games and he doesn't see a lot of playoff, but he brings a little bit of energy and is a little bit more NHL ready than Connor Clattenburg, which you guys kind of touched on already. Mm-hmm. So I really like it. And also, if the Oilers send down Szymanski and Dach, they have like $2.75 million in cap space, I think.
Another little move there. Jason Dickinson also, by the way, not bad.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
It's okay. Not to worry.
I have good news. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Declan, you now show up when you search you on Twitter.
Thank God.
That's huge.
Long time.
I was just looking up your account to see our 1240 guest here, and you showed up. I didn't have to type in your whole name.
Beautiful. Life is good.
That's huge.
The shadow ban has been lifted.
I will give away $1 million to someone who follows me in the next hour.
In Monopoly money.
All right. Interesting trade, I think. And generally speaking, I think that I can make a case. I won't. But I could make a case that Stan Bowman is listening to the analytics department. Now, there have been pockets of time. I am convinced, nobody's ever told me, but I am convinced the first real analytics trade or signing of an NHL player was Andrej Sekera, which was over a decade ago. And then they went through a long period where I don't think Ken Holland and Archie Henderson knew how to get a hold of the analytics department. That's my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. Until Brad Holland got here. And he was, I thought, excellent. And now they've got Michael Parkati and they've got a department and you don't know if they're going to use them. I think there is some evidence that the deals that have been made this week, they do have, I can point to analytics numbers that suggest, although, the defenseman can't play well against the elites, that may change when he comes here, but he can play well against the secondaries, and you need that too. And Dickinson is, as we've talked about here, one of the best shutdown centers, great penalty killer, can win faceoffs, a lot of good things there. Not right-handed, but again, you can't have everything. And you did trade a first-round pick. Part of that was, as Mackenzie astutely suggested, getting rid of the contract of Andrew Mangiapane. I've got a I've got an opinion about why these free agents fail that they sign July 1st, and I'll tell you that. We also have, via Tony Brar, the lines and pairings. Interesting stuff coming up next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace install company for sailors because they know the value of a warm port. And they sing, there was a ship who fought the cold, who sailed the sea with a furnace load. She brought the heat to IEG and her name was Legacy. Through icy wind and winter squall, her fire she burned for one and all with a comfort chugging guarantee, and her name was Legacy. No payments, no! Yep, no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. Don't trust just any port in a winter storm. Trust Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Price is Right Live is coming to Canada, and The Brick is a proud sponsor. Come on down to The Brick to win big this Saturday, March 7th from noon to 2. Join us at The Brick South Edmonton Common for your chance to instantly win from over $25,000 in prizes, including brick shopping sprees, TVs, Oilers tickets, and so much more. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See in-store for contest details and exclusions. So come on down to the Brick South Edmonton Common this Saturday.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Mission Norell and Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is next Thursday at 9 a.m. with tandem and single axle trucks, including a special dispersal of 3 unused 2024 Kenworth T880 tandem cab and chassis trucks. Info at MAauctions.com.
Considering an EV, Subaru is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart, and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted This 40 all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
Mission Norell and Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large section of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at MAauctions.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Right at the beginning of that song, I thought it was going to be Never Tear Us Apart, which was In Excess, right? I honestly thought we were going there. And I love that song, but that sounded really good too. Who was that, Mackenzie?
That was All the Things I've Done, The Killers.
Oh,
that song
nice.
is huge on TikTok right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
love that for them.
TikTok changes the world, and I'm unaware of TikTok at all. It just comes to me via you and the other young people that I know. So it is now time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with GreatCanadianSolar.com. And here we go with the lines of pairings. I have it via Tony Brar. I'm sure there are many other people out there who are texting and tweeting it out. I'm watching people get very angry with each other about rumors and about baseball analytics and accusing others of stealing and such. So I want to credit where due Mr. Tony Brar. But we would use Jason Krueger if I had found that. But busy day, and we get what we get. Edmonton lines and pairings right now at practice. McDavid with Nuge and Hyman. Draisaitl with Savoy and Roslovic. Henrique with Szymanski and Frederick. Kapanen is skating with the McDavid line. Podkolzin with the Draisaitl line because they're, trades and such. They don't have their other center. I think Henrique ends up being the number 4 center. We'll see. But I think Dickinson will definitely be the number 3 center. Maybe Henrique plays on the wing. Here's what you want to know. Murphy is on the team, so it's Ekholm Bouchard, Nurse Emberson, Wallman, Murphy with Stastny on the outs. There you go. That's the latest. Murphy with Wallman. It's listed as the third pair, may well be the second pair by the time everything shakes out. We're just going to have to play along at home, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? A few other things happening. Obviously, the Oilers may be done. I think they are for the deadline, but there are going to be some other things that occur that will impact other NHL teams, and tomorrow we'll be talking about that. The New Jersey Devils, in front of the deadline, have placed 3 players on waivers. They are Evgeny Dadonov, Maxim Siplikov, and Luke Glendening, all on waivers. Do I have time to tell you guys a story about my daughter? Mm-hmm. We're driving down the road one day. This is years and years ago. And she says, Dad, who's the older brother among Luke Glendening and Adam Glendening? And I said, they're not brothers. Their names aren't the same. And we had a back and forth on it. And as it turned out, Dad was right. I mean, I know it's not a hilarious story, but I always thought that was funny. Glendening and Glendening are kind of similar. Matthew Joseph and the Blues are terminating their contract. This happens at times. It could happen with the Edmonton Oilers, depending upon how things go. It happened earlier in the year with David Tomasic. Do you guys remember David Tomasic, or is that a dream you think you had?
No, I remember David Tomasic.
It's a little bit of both, though. Let's be honest.
Kind of a fever dream,
It was
right?
a bit of a fever dream. He had a great first. How many games would you say? It started 10. I don't even know if it was that many.
Leon passed him a puck with a gaping net, and he missed. And I'm
that was game 1. I was
buddy,
live.
you're not going to make the NHL. I'm sorry.
Nathan McKinnon makes those kind of mistakes too with the nation.
No,
on his
you
back.
come
So
over
fair
there.
play. He was on power play 1 for a second there.
Colton Parayko has said nada to the Buffalo. I feel so bad for the Buffalo Sabres. Even when they do things right, it comes up Buffalo. It's like, whatever the opposite of everything's coming up Millhouse. I feel so bad they didn't get their guy. Back to the drawing board for the Buffalo Sabres.
Are you okay? This was a big point of a conversation, not contention. Conversation this morning between both Fantasy Frenzy and the Carrier Show.
Mm-hmm.
Does this work out just like better for the Sabres? Don't mess with a good thing.
Maybe. And Parayko didn't. I don't think he had a great Olympics, did he?
I definitely remember it starting out slow.
Yeah. So
finished slow too.
But what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a team, and by God, you need defense. And those old guys, like the guy that the Oilers got, I know you look at him and you go, 32, big guy, probably slow, but they can play defense, and they know where to be, and they're tough, and they're rugged, and they'll play hurt, and you need those cats. You really, really do. I was interested in this Nicholas Raw trade from Toronto to Colorado. Toronto gets a conditional 2027 first-round pick and a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick. I'm not getting into the conditions. They're the usual crap and corruption. But do you think Waugh would be a better match? He's right-handed, match for the Oilers. And if so, do you think they should have paid the extra freight to get him over Dickinson?
I would have rather had him. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have wanted to pay the extra cost.
Okay. I think that's a very fair take. Nashville Predators have recalled Fedor Svechkov and Reed Schaefer, former Edmonton Oiler. We talked about in the first segment by Declan on his laundry list of players who have, been traded away for various forms of, I guess assets. Is that the best way to put it? All right. I want to take a little time here, if I may. I know we're definitely heavy hockey today. I get it. I understand it. We got Michael Walters coming up at 12:40 to talk a little bit of baseball. But I do want to talk about this Bears-Bills DJ Moore trade because you, not long ago, were suggesting that it was frustrating because the Bills needed a guy. They needed a guy to stretch the field. They needed a guy who could be the number one. is that DJ Moore, and how happy are you? Is that the number one target for you, or would there have been a better option, or are you more than satisfied with Moore going to the Bills?
Well, I didn't really know he was on the market. So anytime you kind of find yourself in a situation like that where you just stumble into it, like here's the other thing. Why would Chicago was in a great position last year, exceeded expectations, good playoff run again, versus their expectations. So we didn't really think a guy like him was going to be there. And that kind of makes you think that, well, hold on, like if we didn't think he was going to be there, but he was, who else is in that situation? And then you kind of go down the list of who are the better players than DJ Moore. And to be fair, there's some names on that list. But when you kind of come back to like, what did we get? What did we have to address? What was realistically going to be the best outcome or best situation for the team? Yeah, I'm more than happy with it. I like Khalil Shakir. I remember, I think I was actually filling in for Krueger. Because Connor was gone as well, and we had a Buffalo Bee reporter on, and I asked him, I was like, listen, do you think Khalil Shakir can pop and be like a 1,200-yard guy with Josh Allen? And he said, honestly, no. It's gonna be receiving room by committee. And that was exactly what we saw this year. And ever since then, you've known, like Josh Allen can do a lot for these guys, but there is something to be said for a receiver who can take their quarterback, as good as their quarterback is, to another level. And I think that's going to be DJ Moore.
So now, just like open field here, where they're obviously going to give up some assets for Moore. Would you rather they signed Alec Pierce, who's a wideout 26 opening day, and he'd just be money?
No, I think his game is real. Like he's actually a bit more of a burner than people might think. But he's kind of, I think he's limited in the skill set. I think he plays out of the slot too much that you just don't really need. Like, it would benefit the Bills' offense, but I just think DJ Moore can do so much more. So I'm happy with the trade.
When can I watch the World Baseball stuff? I go home every day. It's never on. What the hell? Is it on during my time then on the air?
I think they're playing in Tokyo right now. I think that group has gotten underway because I know Canada doesn't start until Saturday. So I don't know if that means their whole pool, but I know the first game was at midnight yesterday on Sportsnet.
Michael's outside. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to wave my hand.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know
I threw you off. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I know the first game was played this morning, technically, because it started at midnight, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I got the notification from Sportsnet, so I imagine that's where it is.
Okay. I have not able to. Is it online and not on the TV? Is that maybe it?
No, because I have Sportsnet Plus, but I imagine everything that I get, you get on TV. But I really couldn't tell you with 100% certainty. The text line is probably better to go.
Okay, they'll let me know. Cal says Frank said Toronto did not want Mangiapane and didn't want to retain money, so then they wouldn't have matched because that's what the Oilers needed. Bears fan here. What did the Bears get for DJ? I don't think it's been
second round pick is they Schefter tweeted out that that's what was agreed to, because technically they can't make this trade until their new season officially starts, which is in a couple days, right, Declan? I'm not.
Yeah, I actually, I actually don't know when the first day of the league New Year is. It's really soon though. It's
for
really
whatever reason I thought it was like the 1st of March, but I was wrong. So
March 11th.
March 11th. I knew there was a 1 in there. I didn't know there was 2 of them. However,
I had a friend of mine ask me an NBA question today. We've got a minute here. You mind if I ask you guys?
Knock yourself out.
Listening to our show over the last little while, has not heard much about his Knicks and their chances of making the final.
Because I don't like their chances of making the final. Declan and I were actually talking about this yesterday off air.
Yeah, I don't love their chances of making the final.
So why? He wants to know why you don't like because he feels you're not giving them the respect they deserve. And
probably not.
He's a plumber. So if you ever need plumbing, this is a guy to get on the good side of.
I mean, my real simple reason is in those moments where your star players are going to have to play big minutes, majority of the game, they have 2 guys out there at all times who are great offensively, but can really be targeted. Like Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson can really, really, really be exposed. And you look at some of the matchups of teams that may, find themselves in a conference finals or in a tight playoff series against the New York Knicks, like
the Pistons.
Pistons are the first team.
The Pistons are a bad matchup.
Horrible matchup for them.
Absolutely, so you don't like the
horrible.
Pistons? Okay, all right.
But even this is why they have trouble, and this is why in the future they're going to have a lot of trouble with the Pacers, and why they had trouble last year because Tyrese Halliburton's really good. And now you have Ivica Zubac down low, who's a very solid defensive center, but also has a bag offensively in the low post. And if we're talking about getting a switch, and he's switched on to Jalen Brunson, apologies, like on a pick and roll or something, and he ends up in the low block with him, cookies every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And same for Tyrese Halliburton. Like, those two are so bad that you almost have to stagger their minutes because you can't have them on the floor at the same time. So bad defensively.
Who was the Brunson in the World Series of Poker? I liked him.
Doyle Brunson.
I liked him.
He actually had a son named Todd who played as well.
You know what I didn't like was that, what's that guy's name?
Phil Hellmuth.
Honest to God, I still get mad when I think about him.
I hate Phil Hellmuth.
And
the crybaby of poker.
Josh, did you say 7 deuce?
I believe it was 7 deuce was his
10 deuce. 10 deuce.
10
Texas
deuce.
Dolly.
Texas Dolly. My apologies, because I know the worst hand of poker is 9 deuce offsuit, because you can't make anything with that.
7 deuce is the worst hand.
No, because with that you can still get to a straight.
No, you cannot.
Oh wait, no, you're right. That's on me. But I still think 9 deuce.
Hey, we should play cards sometime.
Sure.
Jay says
it sounds like you cooked my ass.
Jay says look. Jay says look directly into the camera. Jay, I look up because there's a screen showing curling, and I look over because there's young Declan there, and over there Josh is there, and I don't want to crane my neck, so I rarely look over at Mackenzie. And she's busy anyway. So, Perplexed Oilers fan says, I like that Dickinson is faster than Raw. Not sure Raw is going to against top competition. I think the Avs got worked over for that player on paper. Never know how it works out. The guy that I thought everybody should try for it was Kadri. I understand it's a lot of money and he's an older cat, but to me, he full throttle, that guy is just a total bummer to play against. Kadri's the guy, honestly, even at this age, that I go, man, if this team gets that guy, then they're loaded for bear. He won't give up on a play.
Keep dreaming, pal.
Just saying, I know they'll never trade.
I know his name is now attached to the Habs.
Okay.
But again, these are literally just rumors. And if anything in the last 24 hours has proven anything to us, it's like, yeah, all right. Like, we can't really trust anything, honestly.
So with the 2 trades that the Oilers have already made, are we going to do a big box office deadline show? Or is it just going to be regular programming and we'll just cover it as it happens?
I think Gregor's going to talk to you about it today, but it sounds like you might be starting at 11 tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can start at 11
This is just what I'll
go at 11 to 3 or something like that?
No. Maybe.
It's going to be, the schedule is going to be different tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Tell Gregor I don't mind. Then he doesn't have to call me.
Guess what? You get to talk to him today between shows. So,
no, but I mean, he's a busy guy.
This is true.
Remember when the Oilers almost gave a lot for Dadonov? Yeah. Glenn Sather always used to say the trades you don't make sometimes turn out to be the best ones. Wish he'd said that and thought about it before dealing Satan, but he was a great GM. He truly was. One of the things we'll talk about someday is how weird it is that it seems like every GM that leaves is universally hated by Oilers fans. And then 3 years later, people go, Kevin Lowe wasn't that bad. It's something.
The grass isn't always greener.
Well, it is over the septic tank. And my thanks to Irma Bombeck for that line. On the way, Michael Walters, well-known Edmontonian, ran for mayor, has all kinds of influence everywhere. Good fellow to know, I will say that. And a gentleman and a scholar. Also the Edmonton Riverhawks Community Foundation chair. Michael was on our show last year to talk about Joe Carter coming to town, and he's here today. And we're going to talk a little bit about, where the money goes from the Community Foundation and maybe about something you'll want to know about that's coming up. That's all on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, We are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton
save. Now it's Dickinson down the wall. He scores! A leaky one on Binnington. And it's 5-2 Chicago. Front of the goal. Forced in deep. Pass in front. Pinball in front. They score! Chipped in. And it's the first career goal for Colton Dye. Ties it on the line. Down low. By Hyman finds Montepani. The trailer is Lazar. Shot Montepani and he scores. 3-1 Edmonton. Montepani with his 7th. Celebrate Reinhardt and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Any project, commercial or residential, when you need metal and you want it cut or bent fast, this is the place. Metal Supermarkets. Huge inventory, amazing service, and free parking. Free. That's a pretty big deal when you're saving up for something special. Yep, only 3 more payments and this bad boy's mine. And the 1, and the 2, and Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for... And maybe a little polka, too. Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Thanks for tuning in. Bagged Milk coming up from Oilers Nation. And we have a guest who uses his real name, which we really appreciate. Michael Walters joins us now from Edmonton Riverhawks, the Community Foundation Chair, which means I think you're pretty much a bigwig there, right?
Yeah, well,
just
bigwig among bigwigs, as
right.
they say.
You know,
hanging around Randy Gregg.
Like, yeah. Randy Gregg, Dale Wishawan, these are big names.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that big of a wig, but I get the chair title.
How many free booster juices do you get a year?
Well, that's the same answer to the question, how many times do I see Dale Wishawan a year? So
0.
He's got a few in his pocket. He's handing out those little cards, free booster juice. I might get one. I saw there's one downstairs.
Yeah.
I went and got a coffee, and I was like, I should be getting a booster juice.
Well, it's really
be
good.
healthier.
Well, exactly. And
But
it
I
also
did put oat milk in my coffee. Just
well, that's. I mean, you've made a good choice no matter what you do.
It's a balance thing.
All right. So last year, I got to go to the big event to meet Joe Carter. I interviewed Joe Carter. I made a mistake on Joe Carter's stats, and he called me on it.
Yeah,
and
he corrected you. I
Yeah,
remember.
and I'm like, oh, I don't think so, Joe. And he was right.
Yeah.
Why would I question
Argue
a ball
with a
player?
major leaguer about his own stats.
That's not a good career move there,
You're a
Lowetide.
confident man.
But it was a great time. It was a blast, and I was very impressed because it was a busy night. People wanted to take photos. Joe Carter, he got asked a lot of questions, and man, his recall was fantastic. So it was a great event. And I know that you've got plans we're going to talk about in two shakes here, but maybe tell us a little bit about the foundation and what the foundation does.
Yeah, so the foundation spins off of the very successful Edmonton Riverhawks, which we're all familiar with. They've had a great start the last 4 years here in Edmonton, and they're selling out games, and it's so amazing to see that ballpark full on summer nights again. And so Randy and I talked. Dr. Randy Gregg and I were talking about the importance of the team is a very much a community-minded team. That experience when you go to the games, it is like a community. It's so affordable. You get such a good mix of people down there. What more can we do for the community? Access to sports, our love for baseball. How do we combine that all into one thing?
Yeah.
Came up with the foundation. This will be us going into our third year where we mostly raise money from 50-50 through at the games.
Yeah.
And now this will be the second big event that we've done, fundraiser event that we've done. And it's all about raising money to create access to kids to play sports. And sports creates leaders, healthy citizens, healthy adults. So we want to do our part, raise as much money as we can, help as many kids play sports as they can.
I remember, I have a really good memory for things. I remember Randy Gregg talking about kids sport and getting kids involved and like in the 80s, here.
Yeah, right.
And talking about, I don't remember what the name of the league was, but they didn't really care about the score so much, just getting people involved and getting people's bodies moving when they're young.
That's right.
And that's such a benefit to their lives, but also to the community, right? Healthier people is always better for our community.
Always in the long run. So you look at some of the kids that are struggling amongst us today, whether it be like childhood mental health challenges or addictions, what you see in the worst case playing out in our streets, and you ask yourself, what could we have done differently 10 years ago or 15 years ago to kind of head that off at the pass? And so many great organizations doing this kind of thing in Edmonton, and we're happy to be part of that ecosystem, work together, support them where we can, and raise money.
How does that work? Like if I'm an organization that really feels like I can connect with you and I have, things that I want to do, how do you approach that? Do you approach them or do they approach you or both?
So both, we, again, being new, we've done 2 rounds of grant applications. So strengthening community through sport is one of the grants that we have advertised, and that's where the money's gone. Excuse me. So last year we focused primarily on a lot of the baseball clubs, local clubs in Edmonton, and their girls programs. So like girls baseball isn't as developed, of course, in our city and generally and frankly in any city. So there's been a lot of investment from our foundation and I'm not talking about fastball, I'm talking about actual baseball.
Right.
So we're helping those leagues, the various leagues around Edmonton that are setting it up. The latest round of grants, we've given 2 grants to that purpose again, to help grow clinics, tournaments, pay for girls, basically set up the teams and the leagues.
Which is outrageous that it's not for both, right? Like,
well, that's a big historic miss. Again, I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to get into why it went the fastball way or the baseball way, but obviously they can play baseball exceptionally well. And so supporting that has been important to us. And then, we've just supported Edmonton's Sports Central with their baseball outfitters program, which does a great job across Northern Alberta. So we're happy to support that. That really aligned with our values and what we're about. And then a cool little new startup organization in the inner city. So if you know where Mary Burley Park is, there's a Friends of Mary Burley Park, which is just a little south, just on the middle of Chinatown, south part of Macaulay. They have a Little Champs program, which is, again, kids that come from families that don't have a lot of money, trying to create access to sports and athletics for kids in that community that they serve. So those are the kinds of grants that we've been giving out as we grow. Ultimately, we'd like to give away a few $100,000 a year, but we are in year 3 and we're building, and it's been going well so far.
And you do have a big, you talked about 50/50s and things like that, but you do have a big fundraiser with Joe Carter last year, which was a great event. I got to say, it was just outstanding. And what are the plans for this year?
Yeah, so I wonder if my mom will change her Facebook photo now that she has her and Joe Carter. The plans this year is actually, so it was a great event last year. It was a ton of fun. We did it at the Wyndham. It was we called it an ungala gala because we didn't want it to be a gala, but it kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
So since we don't want it to be, we decided to just completely abandon that concept and use one of the greatest assets that our foundation and our city has access to, which is the ballpark itself.
Beautiful.
So we're going to host what is the Field of Dreams Festival this year on May 23rd. It will be at Remax Field. So if you go to riverhawksfoundation.ca, you'll find all the information there. And I was thinking, how could we do better than Joe Carter? How do we get, a former, World Series Blue Jay hero? How do we beat that? Well, the only way I beat that is a former Blue Jay World Series hero and an Edmonton Trapper, former Edmonton Trapper to boot.
Yeah.
So we got Devon White teed up to join us this year. And so as part of the whole sort of festival experience, some options for people to buy different kinds of experiences, which you could learn about more on our website, from a steak dinner in center field to a food truck experience to a more simple, affordable experience for people who didn't want to pay the big $250 ticket. And just, be able to meander the park, experience the ballpark.
Can I step in and face a lefty pitcher or throwing 95 miles an hour?
Yeah, if you want. We're going to have we had the radar gun last year.
Nice.
We set it up in the hotel, if you remember, which is going to be a lot easier just to leave it at the ballpark.
It was broken, though. It said I was through 68. There's no way.
You threw 68?
No, I didn't.
I was like, geez. I went into a minor depression when I only threw 59. And my kids just we're throwing low 80s.
Yeah.
Like
youth needs to be punished at all levels.
I saw that stat pop up, that 58 pop up, and I just went home.
Yeah,
day was over.
But
cried.
You showed maturity in not ripping your arm off trying to throw it harder with the second.
I
pitch.
tried. That's the problem. It was both of those things.
Oh,
trying
my
to
God.
rip my arm off, but yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna have the batting cage, the radar gun, the ballpark experience. Of course, a chance to meet Devon White earlier for sort of a VIP experience, but then everybody gets a chance to listen to him speak. Like we heard Joe last year tell some great stories.
Oh, he was so what a great memory, and a funny guy too. You know,
funny.
And
He's such a kind person.
He told so many great stories about the Cubs and why he was and the amount of money he was making. I thought it was one of the most open talks anybody in any sport has given.
Yeah.
He was like, I was married, I needed the money. It was just a great convo, right? Like I felt like I knew him when I left, which was, when you go and see these things, sometimes it's from afar. But Devon White, I remember him playing out there, and he was like, there are at that park what was called Ducey, lots of home runs, but a triple when it's off the bat. But he'd catch him. He was so damn good, and then of course he was brilliant in the major leagues.
Yeah, perfect center fielder for that park, and even if he had played in this park, which again is similar in its design, like such a vast center field, and I don't think he could climb the wall like he did in Rogers Center, but or Sky Dome, as it were.
Yes,
yeah,
that was iconic moment. Of course, Carter's was as well. So, are you ever going to run out of these? Because I mean,
well, I think there's a lot of great former baseball greats, and lots of them that have connections to Edmonton, and we have a great local community, business community here that supports us and helps make contacts, and we'll see. Like when Joe Carter wrapped up last year, I was uncertain about what this year was going to bring. We had sort of set the bar high early in our foundation life, so we feel confident that we can always bring in the right people to keep the crowds coming in. And again, it's all about raising money.
Yeah,
and it's all about making sure kids locally have a chance to play sports.
Well, I think that what the Riverhawks do, because it's a great, number one, it's a great entertainment. The business model is fantastic. When I go to a Riverhawks game, I'm entertained before the first pitch is thrown, and then 100%. The baseball's great, right? But I think also that is reawakening a large group of people who love baseball. I mean, I remember in the 80s, I'd come home, my phone would ring, and it's my buddy Tim saying, Luis Tiant is pitching tonight or whatever. And you're like, okay, we're on our way down to the park, because that's sort of the connection that you had to the ballpark at that time. And obviously things happened, Round Rock, Texas. I'll never go there. I won't spend a dime in that town.
Damn you, Nolan Ryan.
But this particular edition, the Riverhawks, number one, they're entertaining. Number two, the ball is very good. And number three, we know that, baseball still at the basic level is a grassroots sport, and you are going to watch players who are going to climb the ladder of professional baseball, and they're starting here, and that's a wonderful thing. These are great college players and others who are playing a high level of ball, so it's entertaining if you love the game.
Well, and credit to the team for continually improving the level of ball, and part of that is just the ballpark that we have. So kids that are playing for Carvallis or Wenatchee or these other teams that come through and then see the park, see the crowds, and the experience that they're having here when they are teed up to pick their summer league team for the following year. It's been a lot easier in some ways to attract some of those better players. So the ball gets better, and there's I'd say 800 to 1,000 people that come to the games that know what the score is, and then the other 3,000 to 4,000. Know how much the beer bat costs, but like the whole experience, that's what I mean. Like, it celebrates baseball, celebrates community, celebrates our River Valley, which, the location of the park is such a blessing for us. And then as much as we can leverage that to continue to do good in the community, make kids have an easier go so they have a better adulthood. Win-win-win.
Yeah, it is. If I had $10 for every time I was soaking up the sun with a beer or two at that park over the years, it really is a jewel. And it's, as you said, it's a different park now, and it's just truly gorgeous. So anybody tuning in, listening to me ramble on, wanting to know where to get in touch, where to go, where to find it.
All on our website, riverhawksfoundation.ca. You can learn about the festival. You can connect to buy tickets. So we got early bird offers up now till the end of March. So you continue to buy. There's 3 tiers. There's a $60 early bird ticket. There's a $125 early bird ticket. And then there's the $200 early bird ticket. And those prices will go up a little bit as we head into April. The experience is there, and you'll get a sense of the good work that we're really starting to do in our community. And it's going to have a big long-term impact. So your dollars are going to go a long way. So go to the website, buy tickets. If you want to sponsor, reach out to us all through our website.
I'm excited about the ballpark idea because it obviously it's an interactive event, but going back, many years, I remember being at the park. I mentioned to you earlier, we did a rotisserie. I got Barry Bonds that day. I had to pay for him, but I got him on my team. But I've been in the batter's box and I've run the bases, and it's if you love baseball, the field itself is just a fantastic experience.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Well, and even they in the winter they've had an ODR down there, right? So just even playing hockey on that field in the winter and then playing baseball in the summer, they've done such a great job. And you might want to think about signing up for the base stealing competition that we're going to have since you've been on the field before in honor of Devon White. Hopefully we can get him to sign. Whoever wins that will walk away with a prize, which is second base, and then I'll get him to sign a second base and auction that off. So you get hopefully a Devon White signed second base for your wall. That
would be very, very nice. Yeah. Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the time and the opportunity to speak to your people out there and let them know what we're doing.
What have you been doing in the last year? You been doing anything exciting? Anything?
Just grieving. I was grieving losses. Since I've been here last. The Oilers lost in the final. The Blue Jays lost in the World Series. Team Canada's lost.
Team Canada women lost.
That's double trouble, double loss.
Yeah.
Then I lost the mayor's race, which was way less painful than any of those other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, still continuing to be a community guy. Do right by Edmonton as much as I can. Raise my kids. They're getting close to
voting age
drifting out the door. Well, they're both voting age. I need them to be moving out age, but they're good. I lie.
There's the moving out age, and then there's moving back age. It's a whole thing now.
I don't want them to move out. Actually,
no, because you know what? That's a sad day.
That
It
is a
is.
sad day. I'm not excited about it. But yeah, just this is a great city to be involved in, and there's so much to do. And yeah, my days are full.
Quick question before I let you go, and it's just a personal one. When you're running, I have talked to people who've run for mayor in the past and other, different public service where you're elected, and what they come away from is a new appreciation for the problems, but also maybe a new appreciation for the frustrations of the people, and maybe they've listened more through it. What did you learn from running?
So that's my fourth campaign that I'd run, and that that one, of course, was the most sort of serious in terms of breadth, full city effort, talking to people in all corners of Edmonton, and I think these days there's a lot of talk about polarization and anger, and politics has gotten a little bit goofy on lots of levels for sure.
True.
But ultimately, people are just kind of working hard, trying to build good lives for themselves, their families, and they want to be heard. So I took away from the mayor's campaign a couple things. One is that Edmonton, this city is full of such decent people that really do care about their communities and their kids and their parents and good lives. The voter turnout is always disappointing at municipal elections, and I was in an open mayor's race, I thought it would be a little more. I thought it would tick up as opposed to tick down. But I think that just speaks to the fact that the bigger stuff in the world is taking precedent these days. Think about what's happening right now, and the Middle East, and the sort of global issues have become a little more severe and easy to pay attention to, and local issues less so. So that's why I generally see Mayor Knack, a very credible, decent human being, as essentially an incumbent, was reelected, and everybody that that was on council before was reelected. So I think people were looking for stability, but they still want to be heard.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's a window, right? There's got to be right window.
And I sound like I'm starting to ramble because it still does puzzle me a bit. Like the voter turnout was quite low. And what
was the weather like?
It was fine. Well, I think the problem with the whole campaign was I jokingly say to my friends, I'm like, the Oilers in a regular season game, I didn't show up till the third period. I was too late, and by the time I decided to do it. But what you'll remember is that summer went right till the end of September.
It did,
and it was actually the weekend before, like that Sunday before voting day. I was in a short sleeve shirt. It was the weather was so nice. A guy answered his door, I think maybe it was in Grosvenor neighborhood, just a little north of downtown, end of September, with barbecue sauce on his face and a drink in his hand. And I'm thinking, this is defining this election.
I'm so glad you didn't recognize me. That's the best part. Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great to see you again. Thanks for having me in.
Oh, well, I enjoyed it very much. All right. Michael Walters, thank you so much. On the way, we've got Bagged Milk from Oilers Nation. We'll take a break. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Time for an update with Mackenzie.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors, Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street. Now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 to 2. Or visit customfloorsinc.ca and bring your next flooring project to life. 8 games in the NHL tonight. Toronto takes on the Rangers at MSG. Puck drop at 5. Mammoth are in Philly. Sabres are at home against the Penguins. Boston meets the Preds. Winnipeg hosts Tampa. Ottawa takes on the Flames. Islanders and Kings have the late slate at Crypto Arena. The Maple Leafs have traded Nicholas Waugh to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for a conditional 2027 first rounder and a conditional 5th round pick in 2026. The Golden Knights have also acquired forward Nick Dowd from the Washington Capitals this morning in exchange for goaltender Jesper Wickman, a 2027 third rounder, and a 2029 second round pick. Colton Parayko has elected not to waive his no-trade clause for a move to Buffalo. The Blues reached a deal on Wednesday to send Parayko to the Sabres, but it hinged on whether he approved it. Busy night in the association with 9 games on deck. Toronto takes on the Wolves at 6. Mavs are in Orlando. Warriors take on the Rockets. Pistons and Spurs duke it out at Frostbank Center. In the PWHL, the Fleet are in New York taking on the Sirens. Puck drop at 5. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.
Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Oil Kings Hockey at Rogers Place is family fun that's second to none. And this Sunday afternoon, the team gives back to you.
The Fan Appreciation Game is back. One of the biggest games of the season.
Fans in attendance receive a scratch and win ticket with thousands of instant win prizes up for grabs.
Plus, all the Family Fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Prince Albert Raiders, Fan Appreciation Game. Family Fun Sunday at 4.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers. The next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We're now joined by Bagged Milk from Oilers Nation. Mr. Milk, how are you?
Doing well, Al. I starting to get a little concerned from my live blog tomorrow, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, honest to God, you know, the amount of time that is spent getting ready for the trade deadline is a lot. And then if the Oilers, for instance, in Edmonton, they've made their big trades. Gregor's quoting Stan Bowman just minutes ago saying, most likely, I think this is our team. We'll look at other moves, and there could be a depth move, but I don't expect anything significant. So there you are, right? Like we're talking about tomorrow, we'll be talking about the same people we're talking about today, and that's okay because Oilers fans love the Edmonton Oilers. But the excitement of it and the amount of time spent preparing for it, especially network television, but any program, whether it be podcast or radio, you're kind of hoping for something large about 9 a.m.
Yeah, or at least the hope that something could still transpire over the course of the day until the 1 o'clock Mountain deadline. But, you know, Looking at socials before I popped on here for the hit, I think that the sentiment among Oilers fans is, I hope we're not done. Like, I know Stan Bowman said, and you just read Gregor's quote, that he could be done outside of some minor pieces, but I hope not. I hope that's more of a, oh, well, we're not in the mood for going game hunting again like they were this past week with obviously the Connor Murphy trade and then Jason Dickinson last night. But I'm hoping that they're still out working the phones and doing their thing and making some news for us, because I still think that even with the addition of the 3 players that the Oilers brought in, there's still some areas for improvement and there's still some areas that they could look to upgrade. So I'm hopeful that is just kind of words that he said the day before the deadline, but we'll see what happens.
What areas would you like if you're in an elevator with Stan Bowman and he said, what do you think? What areas do you think they need to work on?
I think I'd like to add a little bit more size in the bottom 6 and somebody who can skate and bang and crack. And I know Jason Dickinson has got a reputation for playing hard, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I also think that there's a little too much softness in the Oilers lineup as it's currently constructed. I'd like to see a little bit more sandpaper in there. Somebody who's going to lay the body. Something that essentially what I'm looking for is what we all expect Trent Frederick to do on a nightly basis. I just think that there's still some times when the Oilers look like they get pushed around a little bit, and I'd love to see someone brought in with a little bit of speed, size, and sandpaper to kind of address some of that. Throw the bodies, clean hits, hard on the forecheck, separate guys from pucks. I'm looking for a little bit more physicality in this game.
Do you think Colton Dock plays a lot? I guess it would be on the 4th line. He's a bigger guy, and he does hit a lot of people. A little bit of concern about his foot speed, and he doesn't have a lot of experience. Where are you with Colton Dock maybe as an option?
So the most interesting thing about Colton Dock that I was reading about last night is how often he throws the body. And based on like what I was just saying, I'd love to see what this kid can do in that 4th line role and what he can do to kind of increase the physicality and get down on the cycle and kind of live up to some of that draft potential that he had. Because when you look at some of those scouting reports pre and post draft, there was a lot of got a great shot. He's got a good shot. He's got some scoring instincts, but that hasn't translated to pro hockey just yet. But like you said, he's still a very young man with only 78 games under his belt and on his resume. So I'm hopeful. I don't know how much he'll play. I think that'll be kind of a meritocracy of who earned those spots the most. But one thing that Colton Dock does do is he brings another young forward that's probably going to have all kinds of excitement coming into this team. And that creates more competition for a bottom 6 group that really hasn't moved the needle for this team all season long. So at the very worst, it's increasing the level of competition. It's kind of putting some guys on notice that maybe their jobs aren't as secure as maybe they thought. And I think that's a good thing overall. More competition, more bodies fighting for spots, more people trying to add their own flavor. I think that's beneficial for the team overall.
Yeah, I think they have 7 defensemen they like more than they did when, not to put down Alec Regula, he's coming back from a year away. It's difficult. But when Stastny's your number 7 guy, you've got a big, physical defender in Murphy on that 3rd pairing. It looks a little more, battle ready for the playoffs. Attrition will occur, but what's your thought overall on the defense and the defensive pairings, which were Nurse Emberson, the big pairing, and then the 3rd pairing with the new player Connor Murphy?
Well, I mean, and as you know, and we've talked about this countless times, Al, when they put together line combinations or D pairings, I don't really take much stock in it these days because things could change in a matter of minutes when the game actually gets going. Now, the larger point is that I really like Connor Murphy as an ad. I think even you've asked me plenty of times what kind of defenseman would I like, and my answer is always Jason Smith. And while I don't think Connor Murphy's probably as mean as Jason Smith was, I don't know that there are many players who could be as mean as Jason Smith once was, but I think that he's kind of fits that profile that I'm looking for. He's a big guy. He can play physical. He can defend his teammates. He will shed the mitts if you need him to. But the most important thing that he does is he kills penalties and he keeps the puck out of the net. And I think the Oilers have struggled mightily. I don't think that's a thought. I think we're all watching it with our eyes. We're seeing it happen. So if he can keep even a handful of pucks out of the net on the PK or at regular strength, I think he's going to be a fan favorite in no time. We love our big, strong, hard-playing defensemen, and if he can come in and do that, I think that he's going to be a fan favorite here in short order.
A lot of Oiler fans are texting the show and have talked to me online about the goaltending. There's a goalie market out there. There's a lot of interesting options. The Oilers already changed out their goalie room. So do you think that's Bowman's saying that it's pretty much done, but do you think maybe they went a little too early in acquiring Tristan Jarry and bringing up Connor Ingram?
Well, it is an interesting thing that we're talking about this exact same problem and that we started the season with, albeit with two different faces. I was after the Sens game, and now I understand the Oilers came back to win, and it was exciting and it was fun, and I bet on it and the whole thing. But as it was happening, I kind of was doing some math and opening up both guys' numbers. And if you're keeping score at home, in their last 18 combined appearances, we're talking Jarry and Ingram, in aggregate, over those last 18 appearances, we've only had 4 of those with a save percentage of 900 or better. And I know a lot of that can be hung on the defense and the skaters in front of them. I understand that as well. But to the point of the goaltenders, you need them to stop the puck and cover up some of those mistakes sometimes too. So 4 appearances out of 18 over 900 is just not good enough. I'm hoping that some of the defensive-minded players that Stan Bowman brought in this week can kind of help out in the D zone and kind of smooth over some of those rough patches a little bit. But at the same point, you still need your goaltenders to stop the puck. And I've seen the insiders say they don't think the Oilers are going for a goalie. I've heard Stan Bowman today say that he's probably done outside of maybe some minor tweaking. So this is going to be our group, and it's going to be on them to kind of turn it around. So I think they both have the high-end ceiling to do so. But to this point in their Oilers tenure, it's been very inconsistent. And I think that's a worry that is going to be lingering over this team until they show that they can string some games together.
Do you think I was looking forward to seeing Josh Szymanski play center, unlikely to happen now. I think we know the 4 centers are going to go to battle with in the playoffs. On another note, encouraging note, Savoy's still here. They did not go and get another top end skill winger, so it looks like he's going to be playing either with Leon Draisaitl or possibly on another line that has skill moving forward. That's good news if you're a fan of the young players and believe that they are important to the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think with Matt Savoy, it's been really refreshing to see how he's come out of the break. He's got 7 points, a goal, and 6 assists, while averaging around just under 16 minutes, if I remember correctly. So having him progress and start to chip in with some points is a massive thing. I will admit this to you and the listeners, Al, my preseason prediction that Matt Savoy would be in the Calder conversation. Now I kind of took a swing and a miss on that one. I'll admit it here. But I still think he's a very important player for this hockey team. I didn't like any of the rumors that kind of had his name attached to it. I'm glad he's still here. I'm glad he's figuring it out. And I still think there's so much potential for Matt Savoy. He's too smart and skilled to get held down forever. I still think it's a matter of when, not if, he starts producing a little bit more. And hopefully this little run can be the start of that. But I'm very happy he's still here. I think that he can probably play with Leon. I think he's probably smart enough to do so. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen, but I'm still glad he's here because he's a fun player to watch.
Yeah, I'm just looking up my numbers for Savoy because I do predictions in the summer. And what I predicted for Matt Savoy this year was that he would play 76 games, so almost the entire season, missing 6 games, and 37 points on 13 goals, 0.49 points per game. Right now, he's at 25 points in 62 games, so I'm a little off as well. Obviously, I didn't have him as a Rookie of the Year candidate, but I think that part of that is the usage, right? The deployment in the beginning was the 4th line, and they brought him along slowly. I thought that was a mistake. Looks like, whatever decision they made, looks like he's going to be a contributor in the playoffs, and that's what they need. Final area I wanted to talk to you about is I wanted your viewpoint on the 3rd and 4th lines. When McDavid is on the ice solo without Leon Draisaitl, he's at 51% goal share. When Leon and McDavid are on the ice together, they're 52% goal share at 5-on-5. Leon solo is at 57%. When those 2 players are off the ice at 5-on-5, the Oilers are at 37%, which is just a truly ghastly number. And those 5-on-5 minutes that the 3rd and 4th lines play are a total of 22 minutes and 21 seconds per game. So let's assume that Dickinson is the 3rd line center and Henrique, let's say, is the 4th line center. As a general rule, how many minutes do you think of those 22 that Dickinson and the 3rd line should occupy?
Oh boy, now that's a good question. Well, the interesting part about this bottom six conversation is that with Curtis Lazar unfortunately banged up, Matthias Janmark out for the season, we're going to get a different look down there just in general by the subtraction of those two players. So it's going to be interesting to see how the usage goes. Now, in terms of the question specifically, if we've got 22 minutes to talk about, I would probably want Jason Dickinson playing 12 to 15 of those.
That's what I said.
He is going to be. Yeah, if he's going to be the 3C, that's your shutdown guy, and that seems to be the role he had in Chicago, and it seems to be the one they have targeted for him now. Well, if he's playing against the other team's best or near best or something in that order, he's going to be playing a lot of minutes. So I think 12 to 15 of those 22 that you just singled out is probably reasonable, with the fourth line filling out the rest.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Hey, thanks for this. Appreciate it, man. Enjoy and good luck tomorrow. I hope you get a big trade and that it goes smoothly and quickly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I always love trade deadline day. Come hang out at the live blog if you're interested, and we'll be covering it all day at OilersNation.com.
Beautiful. Look forward to it. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Al.
There you go. Bagnell from Oilers Nation. 117. Stuff's happening. Really? Really, Lowetide? That's your update? On my blog, I'm just going to read this because it's the best way to go through it. Oil on the Blood says, Mark Stone on IR, just like clockwork. And then Original Pozar, Ira, who knows a lot about the CBA, says IR is not LTIR. Max relief they can get for Stone if he goes on LTIR is 3.8. But that means he's out for the playoffs. In order to pay any acquired player for Stone in the playoffs, both full AAV need to be accounted for in the playoff cap. That's the new rule. So if you're upset about Stone to Vegas on the IR, it's not the same as it was in the past, and it needed to be LTIR, and they're not there yet. Guys, I may have missed what happens to Henrique. Does he move to fourth line center? Szymanski goes back to Bako, and each slides onto the fourth line. Wasn't that whatever thought Max Jones was brought in to do? Be a banger? Does Pickard come back up to save the season? Listening live now from Slick. Well, my sense is that Szymanski definitely goes down, that Henrique would definitely be the fourth line guy. Max Jones will join some other players, Regula and Pickard, as options for recall if there is an injury. They have some reasonable depth down there for Bakersfield. But I think the roster you see practicing today, and maybe we'll go over practice lines after the break, is what you're going to get along with the additions of Szymanski and Doc. We'll see as time goes on. All right, we'll take a break, talk more Oilers and the trade and what it means for the roster next. Lowdown, and by the way, we have declinations coming up at 1:40. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. G says, where is our right-handed face-off guy? Do they not remember getting caved on the right side? Face-offs in the playoffs? Luke Kunin makes $1.5 million with Florida, fast PKs, top hit leader. But I would have loved to see McCarron, right-handed shot, real size and toughness. Well, the right-handed face-off guy that has done the most good for the Oilers this year is Curtis Lazar, 61.4% winning percentage. And that's in almost 250, actually exactly 250 faceoffs. That's a lot. So Lazar would be, if you put him on the line with Dickinson once he's healthy, that third line would be taking care of both strong side, right? Dickinson strong side, left side, and then Curtis Lazar on the right side. So Philp was also good. He was lost to waivers in the Carolina Hurricanes, who are in town tomorrow, 57%. And then after that, it's Roslovic at 51%. So, the guys who are right-handed who didn't do well this year, David Tomasic, who's taking a beating on this show, 47%. Savoy, who's a rookie, 46%, which for a rookie is not bad, right? Nuge, who I love, I do not like being critical of Nuge. He's a veteran, and he's at 46% as well. So, face-offs are hard, unless you're Leon Draisaitl. And then maybe not so much. So, we were talking last hour about, what all these changes mean for the Oilers, and we do have some evidence. We don't know the forward group yet, but we do know that defensively, based on the lines and pairings today, that Wallman Murphy is likely to be a pair tomorrow night. Nurse, Emerson, Ekholm Bouchard. So there you go. My guess is, because if you look at the way the lines were sent out today, it was McDavid with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman, Kapanen skating with that line. And then Draisaitl, Savoy, Roslovic, Podkolzin staying with that line. And then the only line that is untouched is Henrique with Szymanski and Frederick. So if the addition, because there's two players coming in, right? Dickinson and Doc. But if the only player to play tomorrow night is Dickinson and he ends up with Kapanen and Podkolzin, that would be your third line. Dickinson with Podkolzin and Kapanen. That's a pretty interesting third line. It'd be tough, physical, fast, aggressive, and hopefully shut down opponents. There's a lot of interesting players. Leon's line mates are on that line. Now he's making do with Savoy and Roslovic, and they're doing well. But that's how I see it. Do you guys agree, or do you think there might be another tweak for the lines?
I mean, I think it'll remain fluid.
Yeah, that's a very good prediction.
That's the knob-block way.
Yeah. There's one line is probably going to be
that top line
same.
will be the exact same until whoever, Connor McDavid, leaves. Huh?
What do you mean Connor McDavid leaves?
I don't know.
You mean he retires and buys the team?
No, like,
that'd be awesome.
What is it in 2 years?
Wow.
I'm not loving where this conversation is
Me
going.
either. Especially on Edmonton radio from a Flames fan. How will this go?
Who would have thunk it?
Hoping for another voicemail. Come on, people. Don't let me down.
That voicemail, we should play it. I guess we can.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to put that guy on blast. He didn't say his name or anything, but like, hey, you know what? Totally warranted. I'm sure at times I am rude on this show.
Well, I think he was respectful too. He was just expressing
He was
his
very
opinion.
matter of fact.
No.
I don't like Josh. Please let him go.
It's like the time Isaiah Thomas fired somebody. I can't remember. He goes, yeah, I went out and had a Wendy's burger and you're fired. That kind of casual. It was good. Nail says, LT, hope you're having a good day. Well, thank you. I am. I'm enjoying myself very much. Just a thought of how would Wallman-Parayko trade look? Similar contracts, pretty sure it won't happen. At this point, I don't think the Oilers are going to make a move. They got their right-handed defenseman in Connor Murphy. That allows them to move Wallman over. They have more utility because Wallman can move back and forth. But Stastny's the number 7 guy. We just listed off the defense. I think that's how it'll go until further notice. But as Declan astutely pointed out, and Josh was quick to agree with him, this is fluid on defense too. So we'll see how it goes. They also have the trump card that they can move, which is whoever's struggling play with them with Bouchard, who appears to be the one guy who
future Norris winner. Evan Bouchard?
Never going to happen. Never going. By the way,
let's not say never. So with so much conviction.
I've never seen you send out a 5-minute clip before. That
wasn't me. That was Declan. That was all Big Deck.
5 minutes. I'm like, man, are people going to pay attention through 5 minutes?
They certainly did.
It was uncuttable.
Did they? I enjoyed it. I watched it. How many? Do we know how many hits that got?
Twitter, last I checked, it had 4,500 views.
Okay. Is that good?
I imagine so. Yeah.
Okay.
Not as good as like Karius telling Trent Frederick to kill Matthew Tkachuk.
That was wild, right?
That'll always be the all-timer.
That'll be number one for. Actually, that's not true. It was not as big as Gregor saying that he was hearing rumblings that Matthews isn't loving life in Toronto.
Oh man,
because that did
love that.
$250,000.
Yeah,
I think
that should be in the Louvre.
Hang it in the Louvre.
Kick him off the show. There goes Ranger Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Here's the thing. When people have told me they'll say things like, "I never listened to that show." You know what they did this morning, and that's why he's on the show. Josh is a good young man. He's a fine fellow. But the fact that he's a Flames fan and needles a little bit and it bothers you is why he's here. And that's the way it works. That's why, because if you just tune in and we just say, yeah, that's a good point. I agree with you.
That's terrible radio.
Totally.
And listen, again, the Flames are my team. And I'm like a Sox fan covering the Yankees right now.
Well,
that's how I view it.
But also, I think everybody understands that about sport. You didn't choose the Flames. I'm sure you would have aimed higher if you'd been able to.
No, they were awesome. They were in the finals the year I was born.
Yeah, you don't remember it.
They were in the finals 3 months later.
You don't remember that, do you?
My dad wasn't allowed to hold me, nor was my uncle. Because he jumped over the table holding me one time like a football, and my mom walked out of a room as he did it. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're not allowed to hold the baby anymore."
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure, that could have gone very badly. That's your dad who did that?
No, that was my uncle.
Right. Has your uncle been invited back to the house?
Yeah, I love my uncle. He played whatever the tier below CFL is. For the Colts.
JSO?
He played for the Colts. The Calgary Colts. Messed up his shoulder so bad he couldn't play running back anymore.
Football.
He played football with Mark Killam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mark Killam was his backup running back.
There you go. I like Josh. Don't appreciate his love for Calgary, but that's not his fault. We're all born with flaws, Lance.
Not bad.
That's poetry.
It's we're all born with flaws. It's true.
Lowetide.
My Flames fandom not being one.
Lowetide, how can Oilers be done? With cap going up, all good teams will have way more than we do in cap, especially Panthers with Bobrovsky's $10 million coming off the books. Avalanche still have over $6 million at the deadline, along with the Wild, who have over $11 million. Good luck next year. LOL from Lokesh. Well, they're not trying to worry about next year. They're trying to worry about winning the Stanley Cup. So all of them. My concern is they sign any of these cats to a no movement clause. They can't do it. The reason that they had to trade a first-round pick is because Mangiapane had to be moved because they didn't have anything else. So when Henrique leaves the books, they can't replace him with anybody on a no-movement clause. They need the room. Man, do they need the room. I think it's 13 no-movement clause. I'd like to shave that down to 8.
I think it's actually, then Bouchard's got one that kicks in a couple years. I think Eck is going to have one with his $4 million a year.
Yeah, it's
so it's not awesome.
No.
Especially when listen, if Dickinson shows a shred of defensive responsibility, you will be getting a no movement clause, sir.
Yeah,
you and Matthias Janmark.
No,
what are we?
I tweeted out yesterday that there'd be like the Oprah. You get a new contract. You get a new contract, and it's kind of like that in Edmonton, and it can't be.
Well, it's like that for a lot of teams around the league. To be fair, that's just the nature of the beast. Like someone sent it in. Like I think Colorado might have 14. There's a long list of teams with 10.
The Flames have 44.
But the Oilers have so much no movement clause money.
Yeah.
Like you start with Draisaitl and McDavid.
Well, that's $21 million.
Nurse,
I don't want
and then Bouchard.
25.
And you're like at $47 million or some damn thing, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's 47. I'm happy to take out Nurses. So that's $36 million. I'm more than happy to not move between Bush, Dry, and McDavid.
Sure.
So I'm not complaining about that. It's I have no problem with players of that caliber getting a no move clause, even though I'm generally opposed to no movement clauses in general, unless you're McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Makar, Kucherov. That's kind of the list in my mind. But my point being is that when I'm giving it to a guy like Matthias Janmark, who doesn't do anything offensively 5-on-5, makes $1 million a year, why on earth does that guy need a no move?
Yeah,
because if you didn't give him a no move clause, he gets 1.75.
I'll give him 2 not to play on the team.
Shank One says, where do you think Frederick plays in this new lineup? I think there's going to be some competition now. There's an extra forward, at least, even with the injuries. So Frederick is, I think he's playing pretty well lately, but there's going to be competition and somebody's going to be sitting, and that's okay because that does create competition, and people don't like to sit. They like to play. But when you don't have anybody to replace them because of cap issues, then we're all human, and human nature is like, hey, I got a job. I am, maybe I'm not, going all out. I do not think NHL players are lazy, but human nature being what it is, when you got some young player breathing down your back, you probably play a little more urgency. JMO, as the kids say. Well, how about trying to move the Nurse contract? Make it work however you can do. He's a plug. I said yesterday, and I think this is the way it may go down. If the Oilers have decided, they have started to be management and coaching staff have been critical of him recently. If they decide they want to go down that road, they could approach his representation this summer and say, you're a year away from easing the no movement clause. We are going to be looking at a different direction. Would you like to work with us and find a spot wherever that you're comfortable with? And maybe Darnell Nurse says yes. I would not if I were Darnell Nurse. I'd say, no, I signed a contract. You need my no trade list a year from now. I'm preparing it, and you'll get it. But Parayko passed on the opportunity to go to the Buffalo Sabres today, as is his right. So, people can get mad as they want at him, but that was a contract signed by both sides in good faith. That is, ladies and gentlemen, how contracts work. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, like, when Darnell Nurse has to sit down and put that list together with his agent, that's going to suck for him. When the team goes to him and is like, "Hey, Darnell,
why
summer 2027? Can we grab that list?" Like, that's going to suck. Just from a human level.
Well, but agents are really good at saying, "Yeah, they'll never trade you there," or this team won't have any interest in you because they're building. You can put together it's. If Darnell Nurse wants to make it as difficult for the Oilers as possible, it'll be difficult.
Of course, absolutely.
And that's what I do.
Put strictly the good teams on there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. But my thing is also, like, if the Oilers they're dead set on moving him for some reason, and he gives them that list, like, what's the market for? Like, because he also has to, like, if that is the situation that comes to be, and he has to have I'm not wanted here any moment. The team doesn't feel like they can win with me. They want me out of the building. Obviously one, train of thought, one line of going about it is, I'm just going to list a bunch of good teams and get moved to another contender. But then you kind of got to sit and honestly be like, where can I, kind of reinvigorate my career? And where's the team that's going to actually want me?
Yeah. I think Pittsburgh, I think a lot of people have forgotten about the good works that Darnell Nurse has done in the past. And that happens. There's not Stuart Skinner's not the lightning rod anymore. It's now Darnell Nurse. Okay, on the way.
They take turns.
Declination?
Declinations.
What's coming up?
Just really quickly, it'll be Declan's EAA. I don't want to harp on it too much. Trade deadlines tomorrow. Obviously, the Oilers have made, moves where, we want to talk about that. But I do want to kind of touch on one thing, an undefeated team, and they're still on the bubble.
Beautiful. Yeah. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Salvi Group is celebrating 50 years of building homes and communities, and we want to share the celebration with you. For a limited time during our 50/50 event, you'll enjoy 50% off select packages. That's special savings, select upgrades, and added value, all designed just for you. Build new or move in sooner at Hillshire. There's never been a better time to call Hillshire home. Celebrate with Salvi Group and enjoy 50 years, 50% off. Visit Hillshire today. Salvi Group, 50 years of craftsmanship, quality, and commitment.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Mackenzie playing great music today. Have you ever heard Tapau's Heart and Soul?
Not that I can recall.
Oh, try that out.
Okay.
Really good song. Really, really good song. I have those two, that song and that song connected. And then also Voices Carry by Till Tuesday. Those are all great songs from somewhat the same era. That's how my brain works.
I'll add it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. It's time for Declinations, brought to you by Fairway Divorce Solutions. Divorce can be difficult. We can help make the road to a new life easier. Fairwaydivorce.com. I'm pleased because I read that properly. I feel good about that.
Absolutely.
As a radio professional, this is my 4th time reading it.
You've been a pro
There you go.
all your life.
First time I got it right. 4th time doing it. I'm a pro.
That was the first time.
Yeah. Okay, now, so what's happening in the world of NC2A?
I just want to talk about this really quickly because I think it's really something that is pretty interesting. So the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, they are currently 30-0. They have one more league season game tomorrow against the University of Ohio. They are currently ranked 19th in the nation by the AP poll, and people are still saying they're a bubble team. Like, if they don't win because for anyone who doesn't know, the auto bids for the NCAA tournament, like when you see those 16 seeds, 15 seeds, things like that, those are conference tournament winners. So people are still saying Miami needs to win their conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament, despite being one game away from a perfect regular season,
which is garbage.
And I say, yes, the MAC, which is the conference they play in, they have not had 2 bids in the tournament since 1988, 98, 99. And I say, this is ridiculous. Like, you're debating a team like Auburn, who's 15-14 or 16-14, whatever they are, just because they play a lot of good teams. Guess what? They lose to a lot of good teams. And I know Auburn actually has some good wins, but my point is, it's the same thing I talk about with college football all the time. The results have to matter. The results on the court have to matter. These guys have a chance to go 31-0 in the regular season. If they lose a tournament game, I don't care. They should still be in the tournament no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
And that's all I wanted to talk about. I think it's so ridiculous that these guys could possibly be a 31-1 or 32-1 or whatever type of team, and people are saying they basically have to be perfect all through the regular season and all through the conference tournament just to make the NCAA tournament. Ridiculous. There's 68 teams for a reason. They're undefeated. Put them in the tournament.
Well, who can you call? Ghostbusters?
You can call Ghostbusters, because here's the other thing. Every team since the tournament expanded that started 28-0 was a 1 seed. And we're saying these guys maybe shouldn't even be in the tournaments. It's just so ridiculous. So put them in.
Well, they've won the ball games. Like, that's how you, like, if you're not going to keep score, then what are we doing?
I'm telling you, man. I am here to tell you. Call me Spec the way I'm here to tell you. Put them in the tournament.
Well, and you don't even have to put them as a high seed. Give them a shot.
Lenardi has them ranked 11th, but yeah, like, come on, stop it. Put them in the tournament.
They're being silly gooses.
Yeah, they are. And we'll talk more, next week and stuff, but I just wanted to touch on that really quick.
Well, you can touch on other things.
Nah, it's, you know what? Conference tournaments are gearing up. The bracket's going to be not this Sunday, but the one after that. That'll be cool. So maybe next Thursday, I'll do a little prediction thing. The one after that, we'll react to it. But, right now, everyone wants to talk Jason Dickinson, Colton Dock, trade deadline, things like that. So,
All right. You're giving up your chair. You're giving up your time. You're surrendering your time.
I want to know who Mac and Josh want.
Okay, before Bowman said that the Oilers are pretty much done.
Yes.
I was watching another show.
What?
Yeah. This morning when I was getting ready.
So before this show.
Yeah, before this show.
Oh, all right.
She was watching it on Fantasy Frenzy.
I watched. How she can multitask like this.
Oh, I can't. I cannot.
All right.
With Doc being sent down and Szymanski, it was like $2.75 million in cap space. Say the Predators want to get rid of Michael Bunting and they retain there. I think that's a pretty good fit. I would like it. So I would like Michael Bunting, but
Bowman
Bunting
was mentioned
that they're done.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, GMs lie. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
calling
true.
them a liar. They just tell non-truths for effect because they don't want people to know what they're doing.
I'm
Jeff
keeping
Petrie to
it
Minnesota.
in the back of my mind. Like, maybe he's just trying to pull a fast one on all of us. Also, Gregor mentioned AJ Greer yesterday,
Mhm.
and that was also really intriguing.
I think Doc might be that guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Not Fred says, Al, I remember back when I was in university in the 1990s, every year the University of Alberta would have a beer bash or beer fest, whatever it was called back then. And they'd always have a concert in the Butterdome. The headliner was supposed to be Tapau. And of course, in my animated, inebriated state, I started arguing with a friend insanely why there are two of them, and only to find out that it was a girl band called To You and not Tapau. Oops. Well, we've all done strange things while drinking beer. Maybe we should go around the room. Josh, do you want to tell that story, Josh?
No, I never
the one
want
that
to
you
tell that
told me
story.
off the air.
I never want to tell.
Is your
that
mom
story.
listening?
No.
Wow.
I mean, she might be, but I never want to tell that story.
I would never tell that story to my mom either.
I would never tell. Well, now you're just putting it out into the ether now, but I'm still not telling it. But yeah, we've all done weird things while drinking.
I don't know if Declan has. He's a pretty straight shooter.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously, we guys were sitting
Declan
here
back in
talking about it, I was
2019 before he was Jack Roslovic's number.
Leon Draisaitl's number actually today. Funny enough.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
You
actually,
happy
well,
birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh,
you were
no.
just yeah, it's funny. It got
You
buried in the-
buggered. Now, somebody write this down so we can do it next year and embarrass him.
March 5th.
Yeah, it's funny because my my girlfriend, she texted into the show very early on because obviously like I didn't say anything, it hadn't come up, but she texted in happy birthday Declan,
And I didn't see it.
probably to try and get us to mention or whatever.
Yeah.
But very nice she did, and so I just like the reason I'm bringing it up is because I imagine her like sitting there listening, being like, when are they going to get to this?
Right.
And then realizing we were and her being like, I hate this, and turning it off. So
Okay, well,
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Eventually, everyone does exactly what you've described.
For sure.
Getting sick of what we do and then turning it off.
I'm
But
telling you.
if she is listening, I want you to know we love Declan. We're shocked that he's 29 because even though he acts like a very mature person, he doesn't look like it. So he's a great guy, and I hope you two are very happy and you have a wonderful birthday. Are you doing anything exciting?
We're gonna have some dinner. We're gonna watch the Traders season finale.
What's that?
It's like this game show, reality show. It's really cool.
Is there anything on television? Don't you watch Murder, She Wrote?
I don't. You know what I really want to get into? Actually, Twin Peaks. That might have been.
Oh,
something.
Twin
There you
Peaks
go.
is so good. So good. You got to watch the early ones, and then watch the later ones.
Yes, it's a show that I've always loved. Anything in like a Pacific Northwest kind of vibe.
He is so out there that you're almost afraid what you're watching. One of the really great
I like that
movie
vibe.
television makers of all time. I was never totally comfortable watching anything he did, and that's why he was brilliant.
It was really going to make me laugh. I'm just going through the text line right now, seeing if I can find the text. But then I ended up on Triple C in a truck, and I just thought it'd be so funny if that was your girlfriend that just kept rage baiting you. every
Oh my
time.
God. That would be the
hilarious.
funniest bit
Yeah.
ever. Man.
Declan, have you seen the spoilers for this season of Traders?
For what do you mean?
Like
the
the
one that I know who wins.
Ah,
Yeah, I know. I saw that randomly because I'm a Love Island guy. I saw that randomly before, and then what's actually crazy? I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch seasons 1, 2, and 3 because I really like the show. And last night, my girlfriend, she spoiled who won season 3 for me.
who won season 3? I don't remember.
I don't know. I just know which
How come
category of people.
How come there's 700 seasons of a show that started 10 years ago? What the hell is that
Your
about?
girlfriend's text.
There you go.
What-
it was
what-
very Dwight Schrute in The Office.
How come there's a bunch of seasons, way too many, like season 45 of whatever? Do they do 3 seasons in a row, like in a year?
Yeah, they do a couple for like Survivor does a couple. for
Survivor,
sure.
I think, does too, because it's like 6 months, isn't it?
I think so.
Well, then
Amazing
you
Race only does one.
You shouldn't call it season, or like, because then
but it's seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal.
That's what they used to do on MTV with Teen Mom, and actually on Disney Channel as well.
I hated
So they
Teen
didn't
Mom.
have to. What? We can't get into this right now.
I have never watched a reality show. And I think I'm the only
Congratulations,
one
you're
who's
doing better
normal.
than the rest of us.
No, I'm not better than you. Well, maybe I am. I mean, come on, reality shows.
Does Dylan like this stuff?
Sorry
to out your
What,
No, that's okay.
What about the Real Wives of New Jersey or whatever?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you guys watch that stuff?
My mom
Yes.
watches all this stuff, which is I think why I loathe it, because during January, February, it was always not Masters, Breyer and Scotty's.
And she's watching.
And that was my dad watching it. And I was like too young at that point to really appreciate the curling. So I couldn't watch any of the TVs. And then 10 other months of the year, my mom's watching the Real Housewives of Orange County,
Goated.
Beverly Hills,
Unreal.
New York,
Love it.
Utah, all this
Amazing.
stuff.
I'll tell you a
Teen
story.
Mom.
I'm going to tell a story on my friend Lynn, who I follow online and I know very well. And she married Karen and I. Wonderful person. One time she tweets out, I can't stand that Lucy. She makes me, it's Frank and Bill, they're all sickening. And so I text her, Lynn, what show are you talking about? And she said something I'll never forget. She said, I can't tell you because I don't want you to know I watch this show. And I think that's what the Real Housewives of New Jersey is, where it's like a guilty pleasure, It's like listening to AC/DC in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Or maybe like it's more like listening to like Nora Jones in your car.
What's wrong with Nora Jones?
But it's like real guilty pleasure.
Well, Nora Jones is not a guilty pleasure.
Alanis Morissette?
No.
Definitely not.
One of my dear friends.
The High School Musical soundtrack.
I don't know that one.
Maybe.
Me neither. My dear friend Amelia, her guilty pleasure is Lana Del Rey to listen to in the car.
I like
then
Lana
she
Del Rey.
starts crying.
Okay, that's fair.
My daughter listens to Lana Del Rey whenever we're driving somewhere, and I really like Lana Del Rey. But when you're driving with your daughter, some of the lyrics are not what you want to be playing while you're driving with your daughter.
My girlfriend loves Lana Del Rey, and we've talked about this. She flew to Ireland by herself just to go to a Lana Del Rey concert.
That's awesome. I love people that travel for concerts.
So
You guys
Jason
should go
Dickinson,
have some
Golden
wine.
Dock.
I don't know.
Well, I think we got a pretty good show. Mostly it was about sports.
Yeah.
This is like
I'd agree.
92%.
This is the declinations curse, basically, is we come out of declinations and then we realize we don't have anything prepped for the rest of the show.
But
'cause
he always says,
blew our
"And
wad.
I want to devote the time to," and then we talk about something else totally.
Well, yeah, yesterday he wanted to talk about bad teams in the NBA.
Yeah, someone
we were
texted
like,
and it was unlistenable, by the way. Like, broke my heart, Kyle. I think that was your name. Broke my heart, man.
and we're like, okay, we better touch on Jason Tatum. And then we talked about Tatum for a long time.
You guys will miss me when I'm gone. All right. Thanks for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. 8 games in the NHL tonight. Toronto takes on the Rangers at MSG. Puck drop at 5. The Mammoth are in Philly. Sabres are at home against the Penguins. Boston meets the Preds. Winnipeg hosts Tampa. Ottawa takes on the Flames. Islanders and Kings have the late slate at Crypto.com Arena. The Toronto Maple Leafs have traded Nicholas Waugh to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for a conditional 2027 first round and a conditional fifth round in 2026. The Golden Knights have acquired forward Nick Dowd from the Washington Capitals this morning in exchange for goaltender Jesper Vikman, a 2027 third round and 2029 second rounder. Colton Parayko has elected to not waive his no trade clause for a move to the Buffalo Sabres. The St. Louis Blues have reached a deal Wednesday to send Parayko to the Sabres, but it hinged on whether he approved it. Busy night in the association with 9 games on deck tonight. Toronto takes on the Wolves at 6. Mavs are in Orlando. Warriors take on the Rockets. Pistons and Spurs duke it out at Frostbank Center. In the NFL offseason, the Bills have landed wide receiver DJ Moore, agreeing to a trade with the Bears. Buffalo is sending a 2026 second round draft pick to Chicago in exchange for Moore and 2026 fifth round selection per report. 1 game in the PWHL. The Fleet are in New York taking on the Sirens. Puck drop at 5. Next on Sports 1440, The Jason Krueger Show. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.